Hey, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome into All Joe Madden here on Picks and Parlays. We're talking NBA. I'm joined today by Dre Rich. No one better to talk the NBA with. Dre, we got a loaded day of action out there, kicking off at 7:10 Eastern with that last game. Not till 7:40. So we've got so many games to go over. We've got one, though, that you really like. The Miami Heat taking on the New York Knicks. We're seeing the Knicks up to a 6-point favorite on some of these books. That total, once 235.5, has shot up to 239.5 on Pinnacle. You got a 238.5 on basically the most of the books. There is a solid 238 on Bet365. But going into this game, are you excited for it?
Yeah, I'm excited for a lot of old school matchup rivalry. It's what it feels like in this Eastern Conference matchup. Both these teams are very gritty, defensively minded teams with good coaches on both sides that are going to be able to really play chess in this game.
So, with defensive minded teams, are you shocked this total has been trending upwards?
Yes, I'm also very shocked that is the high total, but also because there's a lot of injuries for both these teams of key players that should make this a lower scoring game.
Okay, so what key players should we be looking at here? Maybe for those steals, maybe for those blocks.
Yeah, for sure. So Bam Adebayo, the best player for the Miami Heat, he will not be playing in this game. On the Knicks side, Jalen Brunson, he's been he's on a tear since he joined the Knicks the last 3 years ago, and he will be missing this game as well. So right now, the Knicks have to really rely on Karl Anthony Towns, who is a all-star in his own right, a very good big man, can shoot the three, can do a lot of defense, and they're going to rely on their benches. Both teams will be relying on the younger players in this game. So when it comes to blocks and steals, I would definitely look for a guy like Miles Bridges from the Knicks. He is a very good defensive player. I think with the Knicks being a veteran team, they're going to be able to make these younger players for the Heat make a lot of mistakes.
Okay, so looking at one player for the Knicks that you just brought up, Karl Anthony Towns, you said he can shoot those threes. I know we're looking for a lower scoring one, but that three number pops off to me. 3+ made threes, something that he can do against the defense here of the Miami Heat. It's coming in at plus 158.
I don't think I would take that because he might have a traditional big man role in this game because Bam Adebayo for the Heat is out. If he was in the game, I could see Karl Anthony Towns playing more on the outside rather than the inside. But since he'll be the biggest guy on the court,
Yeah.
so I don't see him being out having to shoot threes in this game. He might be more of a rebounder, inside guy in this game. So
Now,
I'll go.
looking at his rebounds, that's where I was going to go next because 12 plus rebounds for him in this game, it's still minus 130. They're expecting him to come out huge in that rebound market. How high would you go for him?
Yeah, I would say about that's probably as far as I would go. 12 and a half, 13 and a half. I can see him getting 15 at the most. I just wouldn't go anything higher than 14 and a half.
So you're looking for that defensive battle. Karl Anthony Towns to come out nice and strong here. For the Knicks, what else are you going to look at?
I really want the Knicks minus 5.5. This line opened up at 3.5 in favor of the Knicks because they're at home in the Garden. But the Knicks have lost to the Heat earlier this season. They lost at Miami earlier this year. So this is a revenge game with both players that they both need on their team being out. Is more of an even matchup. And I think the Knicks will get the revenge in a big way here. So I really like the minus 5.5 for the Knicks.
Okay, laying the 5.5 with the New York Knicks in this matchup. It should be a good one out there. You guys, 5.5s, you are seeing on the majority of the books. Some books are firing this one up to 6. So be careful. Make sure you do shop those lines over at Odds Logic. Hard Rock is already up to a 6. We're seeing Sports 411 up to a 6, and this line did open at 4.5 for the New York Knicks. Now, that's that game, Dre. Is there anything else you want to give us a little bit of a taste of?
Yes, there's another game that I really have on my list. It's also another rematch, but this rematch has happened in the last couple of days. It's the Warriors versus the Spurs. The Warriors are at the Spurs. They're rematching at the Spurs again. They played on Wednesday, and the Spurs were favored to win that game. Uh, but if you watch my podcast, we gave out the Warriors to win that game. They were plus 5.5 to win. They won that game outright. Now is a rematch in the NBA Cup matchup with the same team, same players. No one's hurt. It's the exact same game, just on a different day in the same week. And now the Warriors are only 2.5 point underdogs. And that makes me lean the other way toward the Spurs to win this game by minus 2.5 points. Only because in a rematch, they know what they're looking at now. They know what to look for in order to avoid losing again to this Warriors team. The Spurs are a young team, and the Warriors used their veteran savvy to win that first game, but it took a heroic effort from Steph Curry in order to win that game. He scored 46 points in that game. If the Spurs can limit him to under 30 points or 30 points in this game, they should be able to win this game by more than 2.5 points. There's no way he's scoring 46 again.
There is no way he's scoring 46 again. I completely agree with you. Look at the Spurs in this one. Still able to find a 2.5 on the majority of the books. And one thing to note, there is a 2 on FanDuel. So definitely shop those lines. Bet365 also has the 2, but the rest of the books sitting at that 2.5, and then some creeping up to that 3. So you guys, Dre's absolutely killing it out there in the NBA, but across all sports. So for the rest of 2025, you can get all of his best bets for just $8.30 a day. That's such a low price, you guys. That's less than my Starbucks coffee daily. And that's kind of embarrassing to say I spend that much money on Starbucks on the daily, but I do. And you would be better off getting a Dre's winning picks instead of buying a Starbucks. We all know that. And if you're looking for his football plays, I know we're talking basketball here, but football seems to be king right now. That Weekend Warrior package is a fantastic deal. Just $49, you're able to get Saturday and Sunday plays on the football field. So that's college and professional football. And at no extra cost, they'll throw in those Mondays. But if you're looking for basketball too, it's really that long-term package that you want to check out. Again, just $8.30 a day. Dre, I know the NBA is treating you well. College football, NFL is treating you well. How's soccer treating you?
It's slower. It's slower because there's a lot of the standings in soccer this year in the European League is very different than it has been most years. It's a lot harder to handicap because of the moves that have been made for each team and why each team is struggling in certain spots that they will actually have a better chance of winning. So it's kind of harder in this one. I haven't been putting out too much soccer plays, but I've been putting out the ones that I'm most confident in. So yes, last year I put out tons of soccer games. I'm putting in about half as much as I did last year because of this reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's smart to scale down those numbers. But we're talking NBA. I want to give you the spotlight here to do your recap because we know there's some people that are just going to jump to the end of this video. To all of you jumping to the end, just make sure you hit that like button for us. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Let's, Dre, get into that recap. What are you liking out there in NBA for this Friday, November 14th?
I really like the Knicks here, minus 5.5. They should be able to dominate this Heat team that is relying on a lot of guys who haven't even been in the league for more than 2 years. And without their best player, who's been literally the anchor of their entire team this season, they're not going to be able to keep up with this Knicks team who has too many veterans, too many reliable guys. Majority of their starters have been starters on other teams before coming to the Knicks. And so you can't count out this Knicks team at home in the Garden in the NBA Cup situation where they have to win in order to keep their hopes alive to win the NBA Cup. I also like Karl Anthony Towns, over 12.5 rebounds. He's going to be more of a rebounder than he will be a shooter, as he is in most games. But also, I like the Spurs, minus 2.5, in this rematch that happened on Wednesday against the Warriors where they lost, and now they're coming back to get a rematch and a rebound against that loss. and Wemby should have a good game here. But wherever Stephen Curry's points are, I would take the under because that's the only way the Spurs are going to win this game is if to contain their best player, who them losing to them last game by 5 points, only 5 points they lost by, and Steph Curry had 46. As long as he doesn't do that, they should win the game. So I would take the under and Stephen Curry and the Spurs -2.5.
Okay, Steph Curry is coming right in at that 26.5 to the under at -132. Look for the Spurs to lock him down in this one. But you guys, all the best in all of your bets. Make sure you do hit the notification bell so you know when all of these free picks do drop here on Picks and Parlays on YouTube. But until next time, Dre, keep crushing the books. We'll see you next week.